Welcome everyone, Costin here with a discussion about Malachi Mackeson's campaign in Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires and the lovely impact that Omens of Destruction has had on this campaign. Because you see, Malachi's campaign was already a lot on your plate. I mean, just look at this campaign. We got one entire stack over here, very easy to deal with, to be sure. But we got almost an entire stack of Norskins coming right here, two more stacks of Norskins coming right here, just, pathetic little Norskins. Epidemias coming in, Trog coming in. That's just normal for Malachi. I mean, for most Legendary Lords, this would be a nightmare scenario already. It's turn 19, by the way, of this campaign. For Malachi, it's Tuesday. And also bear in mind that I'm also at war with Archaon, as well as many other factions as well. So yeah, that's complicated. But as I said, this is normal for Malachi. Here are some of the things that have changed and the impact Omens of Destruction does have. First off, and one of the things you may not necessarily be aware will have an impact, but is actually the Nordland-Ostland situation. See, Nordland already was predisposed to fall to Norskins, which means that those Norskins have a base of operation outside of Norska, so they can continuously raid you even further. This, by the way, is an issue for Karl Franz. But now, Nordland and Ostland, because of Goldfag's campaign, they now start at war with one another. Now, Goldfag is pretty much AFK a lot of the time, but that means that they're going to fight each other. Now, if there is a clear winner, maybe they get stronger, but you may also end up with a situation like this where Trog, I've eliminated his base of operation in Norska, but he's occupied Nordland and parts of Ostland, and he's building armies, and my economy is already pushed to the brink, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna stop Trog over here. I mean, I just got a garrison. I can stop him. There is a way, and that way is we're gonna hire a lord to buy all of these units and regiments right now alongside this particular army to beat the crap out of him. But that's already one issue, the Goldfag experience. But there is more, and his name is Arbaal the Undefeated. In this case, he's actually Arbaal the Defeated. I'm not sure if he gets the Defeated trait if he's under control of the AI. To understand, Arbaal invaded here with multiple stacks, and he just kind of wiped the floor with Kislev until Kastaltin was barely able to stop him right here. After he destroyed these two settlements, which I had gifted Kastaltin, and I had dealt with Clan Mulder and Azazel over here, so effectively, Kastaltin lost pretty much everything to stop Arbaal. And let's just say I was lucky he didn't attack Hellpit, and I was lucky he went after Kastaltin. But here's the thing, he's already coming back in again for round 3. He's got 2 armies, already 3 armies, sure, small ones, small forces, but keep in mind, I'm already overstretched. Now, sure, I could ignore Norska, which is an idiotic idea to say the least if you want Wolfric to show up at your doorstep with 6 freaking stacks. Sure. And Epidemius, and Archaon, potentially. I could try and rush Arbaal, but that's already a pretty damn dicey proposition, and also you might just enter the realm of Astrogoth, who's just right here right now, sitting quietly with 2 full stacks, just ready to attack. But here's the reason why Arbaal is such an issue, compared to everyone else. Like, if you've played against Astrogoth, if you've played against Archaon, you know that they can have some powerful armies, typically with regiments renowned with Archaon more than actual regular units, and maybe if Astrogoth actually recruits some units, though that takes time. But here's the thing, Arbaal is a different kettle of fish. Oh, a very, 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 very different kettle of fish in this campaign. So he starts with this settlement right here, and he already has a barracks in this settlement. Now that barracks, I think he may have dismissed it for whatever reason. No, he actually didn't. So he's able, right here, to recruit Chaos Warriors of Khorne cast Warriors of Khorne with halberds, and eventually cast Warriors of Khorne with dual weapons. And unlike Chaos factions, he's not... and keep in mind, the AI doesn't have the economy issues on it. He's already tier 3 over here. Soon enough, he'll be tier 4. He's gonna start pumping out... Like, I'll give you an idea. He can get... Like, although a lot of these elements are demonic elements, so he's not actually utilizing things, eventually, like, he's already able to get cast Knights of Khorne, or will soon be able to. He's already able to get Spawn of Khorne, Blood Beast of Khorne, and soon enough, he'll start spamming Minotaurs of Khorne, Chosen of Khorne, Skull Reapers, Wrathmongers, Skull Cannons. You understand the problem here. So this creates, and he has both the cash and the regular recruitment to make that happen. One of the reasons, and he's a lot freaking scarier to deal with than Skarbrand. I'm sure anyone who's ever dealt with Skarbrand in his campaign knows, yeah, Skarbrand can be a bit crazy, but pre-patch, he wasn't really that big of an issue. And also because of the terrain of the balance here, you end up in a situation Skarbrand can't really support his territories and you can just defeat him in detail. Well, the thing about Arbaal, he's got Archaon right next to him, he has good relations with Archaon, and these 4 regions between them are not close enough to support each other very easily, but they're within enough range that Arbaal can easily reinforce an area. And because of all the recruitment benefits, including the global recruitment benefit he inherently has, you start kind of understanding the problem. And it's not just like, oh, I got just 1 extra issue. No, I got 2 extra issues because of what's going on over here in Norden, and Nordland and Aslan, which can go very poorly, and Norska is really the chief bit in the beneficiary, or maybe Festus. But Warriors of Chaos don't recruit very well units. Khorne, because of the rework, the reduced tier, the hero availability. I mean, the AI's built a bunch of crap over here to be sure, but understand, he could get every hero type right now, and a lot of unit types, both mortal and demonic, and give him a couple more turns. Once he starts churning out tier 4 armies, it gets even more dicey. Now you might say, well, you could just brush him. Okay, ignoring the distance of this, there's reasons why you don't want to do that. One, if you ignore Hellpit and you ignore Trog, they'll show up with massive armies. Like, the worst decision you can make with Hellpit is give time to Trog to just conquer all of this territory, defeat Kostaltin, and also Azazel, defeat Kostaltin, so you end up with our allies. Then they show up at your doorstep. So yeah, sure, you can deal with Arbaal, but it's opening up this path for other enemies to come in. And keep in mind, you also got grudges, legendary grudges to worry about. Like over here, I'm dealing with Norska. They all declared war on me, I should point out. I'm dealing with Norska in this situation. Because I want the legendary grudge, but also because I gotta deal with freaking Norska. I mean, the only ones who didn't declare war on me were the scaling. I declared war on them for some money in diplomacy, but that was about it. That's the easy part. But my point is, Malakai's campaign, which was already a fairly interesting gamble with complex decisions to be made because it could go very, very poorly, got a lot more difficult than it was before. Just by simply having one faction that actually has good recruitment options, good hero options, easy accessible recruitment, and normal recruitment, unlike Warriors of Chaos or Cast Dwarves. Or even Skaven, really. Because, Skaven AI tends to recruit a bunch of Skaven slaves, clan rats, so ask me why it's a stupid thing. Like, if you give them 40 turns, sure, they'll start pumping out elite units. But until that point, they recruit a bunch of trash, which you can use against them. But once you get to that point, it's a messy freaking game. Oh, and don't get me started on, the Confederation of Legendary Lords that you may want to achieve, all that kind of stuff in this campaign. So, maybe the best campaign of Omens of Destruction is actually Malachi? What do I know? Kostin signing out.